Hey guys, what's up? This is Matthew. It's the movie over here. Sorry, that was just my cat Sam. Welcome back to another movie review, continuing on with my zombie marathon. And next up is my review for Dead Alive, or Braindead as it's called in other countries. Now, yeah, you're wondering, why is the cover so shitty looking? Well, here's the thing. This Blu-ray is really out of print. I got this disc from Netflix and I never returned it. So my dad paid $20 for it a long time ago. And I had this for 2 years now. So I got a Blu-ray case for it, and I got a cover, which I know it's showing a little thing on there, but yes, I tried multiple covers with this, and I felt that this cover was definitely the best cover, so yeah, I decided to go with that. So Dead Alive, at the time, this film is now 25 years old, this year, because it came out in 1992. Hopefully we'll get a new edition of this. I really hope they do. I cannot read the special features on the back of here because I printed this out and it's all blurry looking, but this costs like nearly like $300 on Amazon. That is a very fucking rare. And I mean, holy shit. And the DVD I think is like $100. So it's really hard to find this. You would be so lucky if you found this. But Dead Alive is known to be one of the most violent and goriest and bloodiest movies of all time, and for good reason. This is directed by the one and only Peter Jackson. That's right, guys. The Lord of the Rings master himself, director of Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit trilogy, King Kong, directed this film. Before he was the master at making those films, he also directed some great horror films, including this film. He also directed The Frighteners and Bad Taste. So yeah, he directed some horror films. I hope one day he does go back to making a good horror film, because he actually was pretty good at making horror films like this one. This is definitely one of my favorite movies of his. So Dead Alive is basically where you got this man who meets this woman, and him and her take the main guy Lionel, and they take his mother to a zoo where you have a monkey rat thing that was taken to this zoo, of course. And in the beginning, you got these like people just taking the rat thing to a different place where nobody can find it, and then it just gets out of the box and starts killing this man, and basically the rat bites his mother, and his mother keeps on acting weird, strange stuff, like she eats a dog, and she basically infects a lot of other people, like like when they're having dinner, like her blood, and just falls into custard and stuff, and she basically spreads the disease like in any other zombie film. And throughout the film, you just got one of the best parts of this movie has to be one of them is where like this church guy just tries uh killing zombies. He goes like, "I kick ass for the Lord," and tries to karate chop these zombies, and then he flies and falls onto a tombstone, giving the middle finger. A middle finger just goes right through his chest. And I'm like, whoa. And another scene that you have in this movie is where, his girlfriend is mad with him, so she goes away, and then Lionel takes care of this zombie baby that keeps on laughing and giggling. So it's basically in the horror comedy genre. And I could say it is pretty damn funny too, at a lot of the times, like including the zombie baby, and including the last act of the movie. The last like 30 minutes of it is a gore fest throughout. You got tons of gory stuff happening, tons of guts, tons of guts that actually start coming alive, and you got the baby coming out of this woman's head. Just yeah, it basically looks like this a little bit. So, and of course we got the infamous lawnmower scene where he just goes, "Party is over," and then just turns on the lawnmower, and it is a blood fest. He just takes the lawnmower and just takes down all the zombies one by one. And his mother actually grows and becomes this fat ass, huge beast. Like near the final act of the movie, it is fucked up. Like it is one of the most entertaining uh endings to a movie, to a horror film I've ever seen in my life. And unlike most zombie films or a lot of other horror films, this actually does have a pretty happy ending. Actually, this isn't like your depressing. This isn't a depressing zombie horror film like, say, Pet Sematary, even though I still love Pet Sematary. It's one of my favorite horror films. But this is more of a funny, comedic, bloody, gory. It's basically R-rated for all of its blood and gore. I mean, you do have some language here and there, like ass and shits and stuff. There's no fucks, though. And, you do have one nude scene where, the mother just grows up into, she has her titties sticking out and stuff like that, but that was all practical effects, and she's not really human, so I wouldn't call that entirely nudity, but yeah, but this is a really fun movie. I thought it was very funny. All of its practical gore effects are nearly flawless. It is one of, I guess it's kind of a B movie, except it was, um, this was released in theaters, but it failed, commercially, but it still became a cult classic throughout. I mean, it is a very fun zombie film. It has very excellent gore and practical effects, as well as its main character that you actually do start liking in the film, as well as his romance with the the woman that I forgot her name is, but it certainly works really well. There's so many memorable moments from here and there. It's one of the best horror films of the 90s, one of the best horror movies of all time, one of the best horror comedy films, and without a doubt, one of the best zombie films. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. So that is it for this video, and I will see you guys later. Word out.